Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zahid Chaudhary. I am living in Europe and UK, United Kingdom. And last 16 years I'm working in the security sector. And I show everybody this one, no to racism and no to Islamophobia. And Mr. Trump is doing the things that is unconstitutional and unfair for everybody. Because today is starting with Muslims, tomorrow he will start with Christians, and after one he will start with Jewish, because he have a number, I think he have a 156 number richest person of the world. He want to come in number one. That's why he want to divide us. He want to make us own business. We need to stop these persons, and we need to decrease his power by awareness. We are Christian, we are Jewish, we need to respect each other always. And we never give the space this Mr. Trump and his thought in United Kingdom. First one, I condemn the terrorist attack in Canada. The 6 Muslims died and 8 is injured. And excuse me, and PM of Canada is state this is a straight terrorism against Muslim communities. We also deny, also united. We give the message always. We never divide it. So this is very clear message for Mr. Trump. I think so many people is there, and this is short message. If this campaign is continue, we will be win, and Mr. Trump will be go back. Mr. Trump, 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 go back. I believe still Hillary Clinton is the real president of United States, and President Barack Obama in real words. I think this person, I read before Facebook, and Hillary Clinton gives the statement, he is a mental health patient. And I think he must go to doctor and first check up, because he is a mental health patient. Mr. Trump, go back. Mr. Trump, go back. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now we have Manisha, who is the BME officer from the University of Nottingham Students' Union. It's so warming to see so many people stand in solidarity and oppose Trump's horrific regime. Donald Trump's Muslim ban has outraged many across the world, and it is re-energizing to see the actions that have been carried out from people working pro bono and uniting in direct action, both individually and through unions. We are all here today because we decided not to stand by as injustice takes place. However, we need to realise that the anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant policies have been instated here in Britain long before Trump. And whilst we are united for our siblings over in the US and stand here in solidarity, we need to focus on how we can unite to tackle all of these policies at home and abroad. Theresa May is building a wall to stop refugees from Calais seeking refuge here. She has wrongfully deported tens of thousands of people, at least 5,000 being students. She was behind the racist Go Home campaign, and she spearheaded the Prevent agenda to make it law. A law that has targeted thousands of mostly young black and brown Muslims who have shown any signs of challenging the state. A law that has attacked the very thing it proposes to protect, free speech and even free thought. So how can we expect anything but empty words from her or her Tory government when Trump represents what they represent? Let us not forget, when racism becomes policies of the state, fascism grows in the streets. Just yesterday, six people lost their lives to an attack on a mosque. We must turn our pain and anger into action. Please support work done by Students Not Suspects, who are working around the Prevent agenda, and Movement for Justice, who work to close detention centres. If you're a student, I encourage you to write a motion to your student union in solidarity with immigrants and to prevent. Take action on your campus and in your communities. From targeting migrants to building a wall, if we do not speak out, we are complicit. Together we can aim to overturn not only Trump, this ban, but all racist, xenophobic and Islamophobic laws. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Manisha. Okay, next we have Nathan from Red Labour.
Hello. Blimey, that's loud. So my name's Nathan Oswin. I'm bringing warmest greetings and solidarity from an organisation called Red Labour, not just to you in Nottingham, but to everyone protesting across the country, every market town, every city, every airport. This is the only way we can stand up to people like Donald Trump. It's in solidarity and together. Thank you. The world stands in a perilous place. Disunity, fear, misunderstanding runs rampant. But by being here, I think each and every one of you rejects that world, is demanding a better place, not just for yourselves, but for every future generation. I'll start again, shall I? By standing together, we can transform this world to a better place. And I'm not surprised to see that attitude expressed here in Nottingham. It's a city of refuge. It's a city built on diversity. It's a city built on getting along together. And frankly, if Theresa May doesn't do the right thing and ban Donald Trump from coming while he still has these policies, they should bring him to places like Nottingham, like Leicester, Bradford, Manchester, Liverpool. This country is built on immigration. It's built on solidarity. It's built of an understanding together. Nottingham, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Tonight, we have taken that first step to ridding the world of policies of the likes of Donald Trump. Nottingham, thank you. Solidarity.
Careful, Alan, that ain't the most steady.
No, I'm not relying on it.
Thank
not
you,
relying on
Nathan.
it.
Now we've got Diana from NUJ.
Hello there, I'm a journalist, ex-BBC, and you may be aware that Donald Trump, on the day after his inauguration, actually had journalists arrested who were carrying out and reporting on the protests that were taking place in response to his statements about women and everything else. Basically, journalists were arrested for just doing their jobs. And what we have seen in Turkey, also journalists doing their jobs, being arrested and put in clink. Now, you may not be aware that because of all these restrictions that have happened regarding the 7 countries, lots of people have been arrested at the airports, detained and arrested, and among them have been journalists, including one BBC journalist who was born in Iran and then, because of the political situation in Iran, settled in the UK and subsequently worked for the BBC. He was on transit to Los Angeles to do a report and subsequently ended up being arrested. And he said the treatment he received by the police was worse than what he had received in Iran. They took his mobile phone, they took his Twitter, they asked him who he was supporting politically, and they said that in fact they weren't going to resolve the situation. Tonight I've heard that British subjects caught up in this are going to be allowed to arrive in UK and United States. So I think what I'm saying to you, we're in a very dangerous situation in the US because they're coming after journalists who are just doing their job, and it's journalists will take account of democracy, and if they're not there to report on it, you won't know what's going on.
Thank you so much, Diana. Next we have Leo from the Refugee Forum.
Hello everybody, what a great night, what a great turnout. And congratulations to the organisers of this at such short notice, congratulations. We at NNRF have been around for 16 years now, and today is not a good one for us and for refugees generally. We issued a press statement which I'll read to you first. I haven't seen it. Nottingham and Nottinghamshire Refugee Forum condemns utterly the executive decision released by US President Donald Trump suspending refugee resettlement and banning Muslim people from entering the country. We support and applaud the many thousands of people who are demonstrating peacefully in the United States and the lawyers who are fighting the decision. Tens of thousands of refugees have been screened and are waiting to be resettled in the US, which has had the largest resettlement program in the world in the past. These people have been stuck in dreadful situations, often for many years, buoyed up only by the hope of resettlement. What will they do now? This can only lead to an increase in people seeking unsafe and dangerous routes to escape, which will inevitably lead to more deaths in the sea. We call upon the government of the UK to stand up to this racist proclamation, which is utterly against the spirit of the 1951 Refugee Convention, and support those demonstrating peacefully around the world in support of the rights of refugees. Now, in his first week as President, Donald Trump has acted exactly as many predicted. Apart from being the leader of the free world, he's probably the most dangerous. He has no concept of decency or humanity, and his politics are knee-jerk and frightening. His executive order bans the citizens of 7 majority Muslim countries, Iraq, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, Libya and Yemen, from entering the US on any visa category. In fact, 7 of the 9 bombers in 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia, but they've not entered into his list for some reason. I wonder what that is. On top of that ban, and of enormous concern to us at the Refugee Forum, the order bars the entry of any refugee who is waiting resettlement in the US for 120 days. It also prohibits all Syrian refugees from entering the US until further notice. So, at a stroke, he's effectively torn up the UNHCR mandate to protect and support refugees, and signed by many countries, including the USA, back in 1950 or 51. So people who've been sitting in camps for years, being assessed by UNHCR, been vetted by up to 9 US agencies, a process that takes several years, have now been told they can't go into the US. That's condemning thousands of them for more years of misery and torment in the camps around the Middle East. As we say in our press release, this can only lead to more people trying to get to seek refuge in other countries, inevitably ending up in the Mediterranean. Trump claims his actions will make the US safer. Since 9/11, 800,000 refugees have been resettled in the United States, and only 3 have been arrested for terrorist activities. 3 out of 800,000. And incidentally, 15,000 Americans were killed by other Americans with guns last year. If he wants to make America safer, there's a target for him: the gun laws in America, not refugees and asylum seekers. Theresa May has failed to respond personally to this initiative by Trump, and other European leaders have condemned it outright, including Angela Merkel, who actually rang him to remind him of USA's obligations under the UN Convention. We at NRF have worked with dozens of Syrian families brought here under David Cameron's plan to bring 20,000 Syrians here by 2020, and they are a delight to work with. They're Syrian families who've been in camps and have been brought here, and we support them and recognise the importance of the work that we do for them. They want nothing more than to be allowed to integrate into our society and make a positive contribution, as do the other hundreds of refugees and asylum seekers from Syria and many other countries we are currently supporting, and the thousands that we have welcomed in the 16 years of our existence. So thanks very much to the organisers of this. and support the work of the Refugee Forum. Thank you very much.
Okay, so earlier on in the day, I suggested that we do a collection to raise money for a charity that you guys suggested. Turns out you need a license to do a collection, but you guys nominated the Refugee Forum as your top charity to donate to. So it'd be really great if after this event you could go home and donate online, seeing as we can't actually do it in person because we don't have a license. Okay, so up next we've got Ivan.
Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
This one now.
Well, thank you very much. Fantastic support. It's all know it's been absolutely brilliant demonstration.
Put the other one back. Try the other one.
Coming on the streets of Nottingham, but unfortunately, this isn't going to stop. Obviously, Trump is going to go. I mean, he's going for Muslims at the moment. He's attacking journalists. So, if Trump actually beats the demonstrators in Nottingham in America and is successful on his plans, who's going to go for next, basically? And this is why it's going to be quite important that people do actually start to get organised. Not just against what Trump's standing for, but obviously May's going to be trying exactly the same thing in Britain as well. Well, one of the reasons why I'm supporting this demonstration is because obviously we need to organise. But on the 18th of March in London, there is a national demonstration against racism that's spreading across Europe. With, the Brexit vote and things like that. So we need to organise as well for that as well. So if people want to. Nottingham Stand Up to Racism are organising the coach to go down to that. So if people want to get involved, go down to that demonstration and get more organised against what the Tories are doing, basically. Thank you very much.
The 52 Labour councillors at Nottingham City Council who want to say a united Nottingham against racism, Nottingham in favour of standing up for refugees. What a tremendous turnout tonight. What a tremendous turnout, what a credit to the people of Nottingham for turning up at 24 hours notice to show this solidarity to one and all. Nottingham is a city that welcomes refugees. Nottingham Council welcomes refugees and we do what we can to support them. And we say that as a Labour Party with a leader whose first act as leader was to go and address the Refugees Welcome March in London when he was elected. Whose leader yesterday came out on television at 9 o'clock in the morning and said that Trump should not be allowed to come to Britain while this ban was in place. Because the Tories have been an absolute disgrace on this. Theresa May was there on Friday and said absolutely nothing to Donald Trump. He comes out and he makes his statement and she has nothing to say for over a day until the Downing Street spin doctors make her say something after the event. And then all they can talk about is the effect of dual nationals, so that a Tory MP who happened to be born in Iraq can go to America for his holidays. That's not good enough. It's not good enough to just make the rules for Tory MPs or Mo Farrow. It's got to be the rules for everybody. One in, all in. So we say loudly tonight from Nottingham, oppose this ban and oppose any state visit from Donald Trump. We need to be out on the streets to oppose it. Get organised, get active. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you to do it. Do it yourself. Get active, stop Trump.
Okay, and now we have... I'm not going to this microphone thing. Okay, now we have Liam from the Trade Councils, who is wearing a wonderfully fabulous jumper, I must say.
Just something I got through on earlier. I want to comment on some of the facts. Well, apart from saying, as has already been said but needs repeating, what a sensational turnout from the tolerant people of Nottingham, who welcome people from all over the world. But the placards that have been made tonight, and great to see great, ingenuity and creativity. No to racism, refugees welcome. No to welfare cuts. Yes to disability rights. Absolutely correct. Trump hates, but we are in favour of love. Muslims welcome here. We will resist Trump. These are the things we have to be saying all the time. I see a poster over there with coexist on, made up of different types of religious groups and organisations to unite our people against this extremely nasty and unpleasant misogynist and racist who somehow became the President of the United States of America. Now, we can't let our own government off the hook, can we? Because it's interesting that within a couple of weeks of Trump being elected, the Tory Prime Minister Theresa May has invited him on a state visit to the UK. The following presidents of the United States were not invited to the UK, by the way. Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and a number of others, and yet this racist misogynist within 2 weeks is invited to the UK on a state visit. Saying no, reject the invitation. And I tell you something else that's fantastic to see, apart from what we're seeing tonight, and that is the tremendous resistance on the streets of the United States of America to Donald Trump. On the Statue of Liberty it says, "Here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose fame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbour that the twin cities frame. She cries with silent lips, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, learning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden doors. These are the people we should be bringing to the world, across the world, not rejecting them, not rejecting the poor, not rejecting Muslims, not rejecting Jews, not rejecting the disabled, not rejecting LGBT people, not rejecting the working class. We must unite against this type of hatred and this type of movement. I want to say a last thing about the importance of freedom of movement, because I think there's been, even in the Labour Party, a little bit of backing off from it. There is nothing, in my opinion, more important than the right of people to move around the world freely, to go where they please, to live where they want to live. There's no problem with multi-billionaires coming to the UK. There's no problem with capital, money, moving around the world to exploit people. We want no to exploitation, but yes to immigration, and we don't make it, or we shouldn't make any difference between a refugee and a migrant. They are all welcome here, and we must welcome them all. I am the Secretary of the Local Trades Council, which is the coordinating organisation for the trade unions in the UK. And I want to say something to the trade union movement, because there's an element in it. This slogan, British jobs for British workers, say no to it. No to that sort of slogan. We are for the defence of workers' rights in Britain, in Ireland, in the USA, in Iran, in Iraq, in France, in Germany, the world over. We are for workers' rights. We are for human rights. Stand stand together, comrades, for equality, for fraternity, for human rights everywhere. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Solidarity and love, comrades.
Thanks so much, Liam. Now we have the wonderful David.
Right, now, I don't know about you, but do we really want a Muslim-hating, misogynist pig in this country? No! Don't Trump! Don't Trump! Trump! Don't Trump! Don't Trump! Don't Trump! Don't Trump! Thank you! Short and sweet, that's how I like it.
Great, thanks, David. Okay, now we have Kathy from NG Solidarity and Refugees, who's got a little announcement for you.
Hi, thank you very much for giving me a minute. Across Nottingham, we have over the past year collected loads of goods which we've taken out to refugees in Calais and northern France. I'm asking you all, if you're wanting to do something, follow NG Solidarity, ngsolidarity.com. We've got an announcement, we're going to be signed in another collection this week. ngsolidarity.com. Please follow us, let's make a difference. Thanks ever so much.